Okay, we're live. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let's see.
How you doing? How you doing?
Yes, so this morning we have lovely, lovely Miss Wright, the credit plug repair. And I thought this was important to number one, help people understand financial literacy. I have a lot of people that always come to me that want to purchase homes or scale a business. And I always discuss how important repairing your credit is, right? To get your score to be a certain place. Because even though with COVID-19, um, it caused a good and bad thing, right? So the good thing is interest rates are very low, right? So it's a great time to buy. But the other thing is the hardship with people who have lost their jobs or people who don't really have the income coming in anymore.
Right.
So I tell everybody this is a great time to kind of like restart, reboot, and re-energize and get on the right, wagon. So needless to say, I've seen you advertising. I've seen you do your, promotions for credit repair. And I said, you know what, this sister is very knowledgeable. She knows what she's talking about, and I want her on my team. so so definitely welcome, Miss Wright. And I want you to tell people about you and just what you have going on, and we'll go from there.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you so much, Kathy. I appreciate you for having me on your show this morning and to help educate some people. I appreciate what you do in the community, helping people. Hey, Sandra. Hey, everybody. Everyone saying good morning, good morning, good morning. And so my name is Riika Wright, and originally from New York, and ex-Navy, and I decided to get into the credit repair industry because my credit was terrible. Okay. And so in doing that, a friend of mine who was also in the Navy introduced me to this amazing organization I'm with now. And so just going out there helping people, making sure that they understand what it is to have good credit, and how important it is, because it's not just if you want to buy a home. Hey, Wendy, it's not just if you want to buy a home. It's so many other things that credit is involved with. So I'm excited to help people. That's the reason why I do this.
So let me say good morning to everybody. Good morning, everybody. And as you have questions for Miss Wright, please put it on the screen because this is a great opportunity for you to ask those questions. And
Yeah.
I want to get people comfortable with asking questions because a lot of times we have what I call a little ostrich feeling where you stick your head in the sand and you think when you
Right.
pop back up, the world is going to
Everything goes
change.
away. Everything's great.
Yeah, and it's not. So it's the
Right.
best. Yeah, the best way to handle things is head on, and especially when you have the resources, you have the people who want to help. Let's do it. I'm just telling everybody. I just got off a call last night with a girl for an hour, and I'm like, look, you're the best investment in yourself, and who else better to believe in you but you, right? And so getting your credit right, or at least a start, because it can't happen overnight. I tell people, like, how long did it take you to have bad credit, right? And so
Right.
we want this magic wand, you know
Hmm.
and then said, boom, I want it to be done in 3 days, and can you take it all off? Can you go over a little bit of like the process, right, of what it looks like even if you have a credit score, and I wanted to talk about, you can still have a 750 and not have credit, right? And so when people say I got a great score, but what does that look like, right? You got a 750 but you don't really have any credit, right? You don't have
Right.
any credit built up. So I do want to talk about that, but tell people what is the process um, when they deal with credit. So they come to you. I come to you and say, hey, girl, I really want to work on my credit. I got like a 540 and I have a couple of collections, and they're medical. I don't know what else to do. I got student loans. I don't know. I'm swamped. I'm a single parent, and I pay rent.
Right. So the first thing I would say, well, number one, I'm a single parent too. So kudos to all the single moms and dads out there doing your thing. But it's okay. We got you. Okay, we
Right.
got you. I was in the same boat. Okay, so don't be fearful about it. Don't stick your head in the sand, like you said. So what we want to do first is we have a group of credit attorneys. They're amazing, and they actually will pull that person's credit report to see what's going on. Okay, that's the first thing. You want to see what's on there, whatever's inaccurate, erroneous, or obsolete. We're going to delete those things right away. Once those things are deleted that we see on there, we're going to send it off to the credit bureau so that they can further assess to let us know whether that item was actually inaccurate, how long it's been there, if it needs to be deleted. Cool, let's get what needs to be deleted so that your credit score can be improved. And I want to touch on what you said also. You have a 750 credit score, maybe, but do you have any credit established? Like, what's actually on your credit report? How long have you had credit? What are you doing with your credit? Like, what are you doing? You own a home? Do you have things that are reporting to your credit report? So it's important to make sure you have a good history and not just, oh, your score is great, but there's nothing there. So if a lender or somebody looks at your credit report, they don't look at it going, like, okay, I don't see anything here that's established. And so it's important to do that. So we help with that as well. We offer secured credit cards as well. So if somebody needs to establish their credit and build, they can actually get one of those and put, whatever amount of money, their secured funds onto that card so that they can start to build credit while we're repairing their credit.
Okay. And so I think just hit on a point. Um, Sometimes I tell people that when they come to us as experts, it's easy to say, here goes my issue, here goes my problem. Miss Wright, fix me. Um, I always tell
Hmm.
people that you have to invest in yourself. So one thing that they can do is go get their free annual credit report, right? That's free.
Yes,
You can get it,
definitely.
review it, right, to see the things that do not match up. And
Hmm.
without me going into galore details, but you can do a dispute letter. You could, research certain things to do so you can do your part. So then when they come to you, I tell people it's okay to be broken, right? But if you try to at least review your credit report, right? So when they come to you and be like, look, these 5 things aren't mine. Maybe your mom name, like my mom name is Kathleen. So my name is Cathy. And a lot of times it gets mixed up. And I'm like, well, that's not my credit, right? Um, and what I found out, which was totally by accident, was my mom was actually helping my credit score go up for the positive
Hmm.
because I was actually attached to her credit, right? And
Right.
that's something that people don't know about trade lines. I'm not going to go in like huge detail because that's like a lot. But
Right.
um, when I was in college, I'm like, man, my credit score is the bomb. Now it could go the opposite direction, right? It could
Right.
be you're attached to someone who is not paying their bills, someone who has horrible credit, and it
Yeah.
goes down. But
Hmm.
those are the things that I had to learn, like, oh, well, now I'm gonna have to dispute it to say, hey, this is not my credit. I don't have anything to do with this account. I don't even know what this store account is.
Right.
But we have to pay attention to our credit, right? And then it's important because sometimes they make mistakes too, right? And
Exactly. They do. They make a lot of mistakes. And so that's another
yeah,
reason why we're here to make sure that what's on your credit report is accurate information, right? Because they're
right,
selling information. That's what the credit bureaus do. They're not on your side. They're not on our side. They literally are there to make money, to sell information. And a lot of times it's not accurate information.
right,
So if you're going to sell something or use my information, make sure it's right, you
right,
know. And they're not a government institution. It's not a government entity that people think like the
yeah,
IRS. No, these are
yeah,
private companies, and they don't converse with each other. They don't communicate. So that's why a lot of times, if you see something on Equifax, your
right,
Equifax credit report, you might see something different on TransUnion. You might see something different on Experian. Right? They're like these neighbors that don't talk to each other. So we got to make sure that they match. And whatever needs to be deleted from there, that they are deleted. And
yeah,
so also we have another program called what's called Credit My Rent. So Credit
hmm,
My Rent is very important because a lot of renters do not have their rent being reported to the credit bureau. So that affects their score too. That's a large payment that you're making every single month, and that's not being reported. So Credit My Rent allows them to do that every single month, and it actually goes back either 12 or up to 24 months. They can report all on-time payments. I'm gonna say it again: on time payments. Okay. We're not reporting late payments, y'all. We're not doing that.
no,
So as long as your payments are on time, and that's key, please, 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 please make your payments on time. Whether it's rent, whether it's your car note, whether it's your credit card, make your payments on time, because that's 35% of your credit score. It's a huge.
Yeah.
So the credit bureaus, they know what they're doing. We want to help you know what you're doing, because it's a game. And if we know how to play the game, cool, then you'll win. But 35% of your credit score are on time payments, right? Why is that? Because they know people pay bills late. Okay.
Right.
They're saying, well, hey, if your credit score goes down, cool, let's make 35% of it payments. The next thing is 30%, right? So you have 30%. That's 65% of your score already, just for payments, making sure your payments are on time. The other 30% is your utilization, right? So if you have a credit card that's $1,000 and
Mm-hmm.
you max it out, you just go to the store. You at Ross, you at TJ Maxx, you
Man.
wherever you like to shop, Target, and you just keep maxing that card out, then your score's gonna drop.
And
People don't
so
realize.
that Yeah, and so that is what utilization is, right? Can you break that down a little bit? Because I think a lot of times we're so used to saying our, lingo, and then some people are like, "What does that mean?" And they try to
Right.
research it, and they Google, and you're like, "I still don't understand." So I think that's important because a lot of people think, you know, um, and it's so many tricks that like you said, we have to like beat the system. So even like when you put in your dispute letter, and I'm only speaking for myself. I am not a credit repair person. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a tax person. But what I had learned was when I, was watching other people, it was like when they mailed their dispute letters in, they had put 2 weeks before they mailed it because it was taking so long. And they said, well, that's how you beat the computer. And I'm like,
Mhm.
you're racing against a computer and not against a person. I didn't
Right.
know. I thought they opened up every single letter and they, had a person. They were like, no. And I'm like, oh
Mm-mm.
my God. But I
Yeah.
mean, hey, listen, when I be watching YouTube and seeing what people are doing, I'm not saying do it, people. I'm just saying this is what I've seen. Where people be like, what you say about that? But utilization is important. Like that is something that counts. Like when your bill is due, like
Yeah.
how much to pay on your bill, how much to pay down your bill.
Yep.
So that could, I mean, I seen somebody score jump like 10 points. I'm like, God, wait. And it's because they timed it, right? And they
Mm-hmm.
paid the right amount. But talk about it. Talk about it, girl.
So back to utilization, right? So let's break that down. If we go back to my example of $1,000 on your credit
Mhm.
card, okay, we're gonna keep it real simple. We're gonna keep it kindergarten. So $1,000, that's your credit limit. $300 of that, that's 30%, right? 300 30%
Mhm.
of it. So you want to keep your utilization, meaning your usage. That's all it's saying, your usage. So if every time you swipe that card, you're using it. You don't want to go over $300 if your credit limit is 1,000. Okay. The minute you start
Mhm.
going over that, that's when your credit score starts to plummet. And the higher you go on it, your score, it just keeps, this is what it keeps doing.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And so boom, you're at that $1,000 limit, and they're like, okay, this person can't manage their debt. That's all that it needs to them is debt. Your credit score is
Yeah.
debt. That's all it is. So don't think it's something else. It's all debt. But they just want to see how you manage your debt. So as soon as you hit 30%, $300, then you go to 350, 450, and you just having fun at the mall. You want to make sure it stays under 300. However, what they look for is 0 to 9%. Okay, if you keep your your balance under 9%, awesome. They love that. They're like, oh, this person, they're not running cards up
Mhm.
and maxing stuff out. 9%, great. So keep it at $90 or below, perfect. Now, if your credit limit is less than 1,000, right, then you just do the math, multiply it by 10%, then that's where you want to keep your credit or your balance. Because it's like I said, if you keep bringing it up, racking up, then you're hurting your score. So that's
And
what utilization is. You want to make sure you're using uh, your cards properly. You're paying down loans if you have those loans. Make sure you're paying them down on time. Don't make late payments and things like that. Also, like you said, trade lines. We won't get into trade lines. However, if you're opening up new lines of credit, that's still going to help your score,
mhm.
right? Your debt to income ratio. And so it's not looking like, okay, I have $1,000 limit here and I'm spending 300. But if you have another line open, okay, that's more credit available to you. So that's something else that people need to keep in mind. If you only have one trade line open, then that could hurt you as well.
And so another thing I wanted to talk about, and thank you for breaking that down because I think that's very important for people to understand. is not every credit card is a great credit card to have. Like, is that a true statement?
It is. It is. And you have to look at, and people have to do their own research. What's the best card for you, right? Do you want a
Mhm.
credit card? Do you need a secured card? Look at the percentage rates, the APR on that card. You need to see if the card has an annual fee. Some cards have an annual fee, right? Some cards have rewards. Some cards, you have to look at the card for what's in your best interest and for what you are trying to do. So make sure you're
Yeah.
asking questions before you get that card. Make sure you're reading, right? Some people don't like to read. We have to read and make sure that the card that we're applying for is what we need it to do. And
Yeah.
we're not getting a card because we want to buy something. We have to really do our research on the cards we're getting, on the loans that we're getting, to see if it's actually going to benefit us in the long run.
And something that you hit on, I always tell people, if you can't make money three ways from doing one thing, then you have to rethink, is it worth it? So if you're
Hmm.
getting a credit card, right, which is supposed to help you build your credit, right, and you can make purchases. I always, and again, I'm not a credit repair person, but I know if I have three credit cards, I use one for gas, right, because I know that is not going to be a substantial amount every month. I know I could pay that completely down, right? And I use one as an emergency fund, right? So if I run out of money and I'm like, man, I need to buy groceries, boom, I go to that card, right? And then the third one is, yeah, if you need things for your office, or if you need it because you run out of money, period, that is your go-to card. Boom. But the thing I think people get mixed up is the rewards. The rewards is so important because if you're using a card and they're giving you a reward for every dollar or whatever, that could be your vacations you go on, that you have to keep trying to save up every year to do.
Right.
That could be your groceries. That could be a lot of stuff. So having those reward cards, right, that's beneficial, that's three ways that you're winning just for one credit card. But when we do things, and I'm not bad mouthing a company, but we do things and go with this company because they'll give us $500, and then the interest on it is,
Sky high.
God knows. I mean, as soon as you get it to 500, you're really paying $1,000 back,
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah.
don't defeat yourself, and take the time to do the right thing the first time, because it takes so much longer to correct it, and then
Right.
you're frustrated. So, all right. So then I want to talk about FICA. What is FICA? What is a FICA score? When people say, well, FICA, what is that?
Right. And so that's Fair Isaacs, right? That's all that is. And that's pretty much your main score. That's what people or these industries, companies look at. That's what lenders look at when you're going to purchase a home, or when you're going to the bank and you're trying to get a loan for whatever reason. If you go buy a car, they're pulling your FICO score, right?
Yeah.
It's just Fair Isaacs, right? That's what they came up with. So you want to make sure that your score is where it needs to be. With our program, you actually are shown what your auto score is. Okay, you're shown what your hiring index score is. You're shown what your regular score is. So it's not just one score. You have different scores. So if you're going to buy a car, you need to know what your auto score is. If you're going
Mm-hmm.
to look for a job, you need employment. Guess what? They're pulling your credit report,
And
right?
they're
And so
crazy.
they're
That's
looking at your
crazy.
hiring index. So it's a grade. It's not a number. It's actually a letter. So they're gonna see and they're gonna look and say, oh, she got a D. He has an F. So you want to have an A or B in the green, because it goes green, yellow, red, just like when you see an actual
Right.
credit score meter. And so that's how some people are not getting hired now, right? Or even fired. I had a young lady about a week ago contact me and say, hey, I need to get my credit fixed, and we've been talking about this for about a year, but now, she's like, no, I need it now because they about to fire me. What?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And so it's serious. You want to make sure that you're doing everything that you can to keep your score where it needs to be, because jobs are looking at it. If you have a job that has a security clearance, and she does. So these government jobs, you can't play around with it. They don't want you having a low credit score, because it's, to them, they're looking at you like, okay, I can't trust this person. And if I have to do a
Right.
background check and get a security clearance for them and their credit scores are 500, can I trust them? That's how they're looking at it. And you might be a trustworthy person. Things happen. You might have had a divorce. You might have had car repossession, or money got tight. So use that card. but we got to make sure that we just get back on track because it's
Yeah.
very important. You also have an insurance score, right? So if you're wondering why, your car insurance is so high, or you have to put a down payment down when you go apply for car insurance, or when you go try to get a cell phone and you have to put a down payment down, it's because of your credit score. So it's so important that we keep our score, where it needs to be, and that's 750. You want to have a 750 or better. And I was
And
listening to a podcast a little while ago, and they were just saying, is it so important to have a perfect credit score? No, you don't have to have an 850, but you want to make sure that you have a excellent or at least a very good credit score, so that you can be afforded the opportunities, especially if you're looking to buy a house. There are different programs out there for you, and you can speak to that more than I can. But there's a lot of programs out there more available to someone with a good credit score than even if you were to have a
yeah,
670, you know. And so we want to make
yeah.
sure um, your finances are where it needs to be. So in 2021, you can go out there and buy that house. You can buy that car if you need to, and you're not shrinking back, and you don't have that knowledge to just move forward.
Yeah. And so I want to say good morning to everybody again. Thank you for
Hey,
joining.
everybody.
Of
Hey,
course, we
Steve.
have our credit plug, Miss Wright, with us. And we're just talking about ways to help improve. We know this is not going to be a webinar call, but we should work on that, Miss Wright, putting something together so people can
Yes, ma'am.
know how we rocking and rolling, because we
Yeah.
do want to get you right for 2021. A lot of people will say this is my year. No, say this is going to be me forever, right? So
Right.
once you're
This year ends in
educated.
December. Right?
Yeah, yeah. And I'll
Yeah.
tell people, and even when it comes to business credit, you have to think about, um, they're two total different things. But if you can't handle your own credit, right?
Right.
When you talked about business credit, it's a lot more goes with business credit than just your regular credit. So you got to kind of, get a system down pat. You have to definitely pour into yourself. I tell everybody all the time, you have to invest in yourself. If that's getting education, right? If that's paying to get knowledge, paying to get somebody to do it as an expert, you won't waste a lot of your time trying to figure it out. I know it's so hard today in the world to trust people, but everybody knows if I bring you on live, I trust you. So,
Yeah.
tell people how to get in contact with you, because I think that's important. I know they still gonna come to me and I'm be like, didn't you watch my live? Tell people, where can
Right.
they
I'm gonna
find you at?
refer you. This is Miss Wright. She can help you.
Right.
So again, Riika Wright, and my name is spelled Riika. And you're welcome, Lakeisha. I see your comment. Rii, two I's, Ka, last name Wright with a W. You can find me on Facebook. You can also find me on Instagram at I am Riika Wright on Instagram. Feel free to inbox me. I don't bite. You can inbox me, and I'll answer any questions you have. If you feel like you're ready to get your credit repair started, it's only $188 to get started. It's not $5,000. It's not $10,000. And so definitely invest in you, like invest in you, period. Don't feel like, oh, I can't afford this. Can you afford not to do it? Because having bad
Right.
credit is expensive. Like, it's really expensive. You're paying interest rates, high interest rates, when you don't have to be. And so definitely make that investment into yourself today, whenever you feel ready. It's January, y'all, and it's almost February. This year is going to fly by, just like 2020 did. So just make some different decisions. Um, and we have Cathy here ready to put you in a home if that's what you're ready to do. So definitely,
Right.
definitely, let's write our goals down and hit them. So inbox me and I can help you.
And that's important. I think you hit on something. People really don't write down their goals if they have them here, right? And
Right.
I always tell everybody, have it visual. I have mine posted. Have it visual where you could see it every day, right? And if it's, putting it in a picture frame, putting it on your desk, I know people put their family on the desk, but you can't have your family unless you get straight, right? And you can visually see it. And then I don't like telling people what to do with their money, but sometimes I am aggressive with it. You got your
Mhm.
tax returns coming back. You got this stimulus check coming back. Use
Right.
that $200, invest it in yourself, right?
Hmm.
Don't You have to make sacrifices. If you're eating McDonald's, Hardee's, or whatever every morning, that's $20 a week, right? So skip that. By the time you get to the end of the month, that's your money right there. Invest it in yourself. Go
Right.
without. It's called sacrifice. We don't sacrifice anymore. We done got
Right.
bougie where we think everything is just is at your, grip. I don't have to, get a ladder to get the apple. I'm just gonna reach. No, 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 no. It's gonna take some
Right.
work, right? So
Right.
I think that's important. So one thing, and I just want to recap for people because I know some people, see this late. So
Mhm.
we're gonna write down our goals, right?
Yeah.
Why do you even want to get your credit right? Right. There we go.
Okay.
Boom, boom,
Dollar
boom.
Tree, y'all. Let's not make excuses. Okay, that's another point. This costs $1.06,
Right.
whatever the tax was, right?
Yeah.
You probably have $1 laying around in your car. And if you don't, guess what? You can ask somebody to give you $1. They'll give it to you.
Yeah. Right.
This is $1 from the Dollar Tree. I bought 10 of them, right? We
Right.
put 2021 goals on it, and I write them down
You
every day.
have
I
to.
write my goals down every day, right? I learned that from my mentor, Grant Cardone. Y'all know him.
I
Every
love Grant.
morning,
I love Grant.
listen,
Love him.
every Monday at 8. Tonight I'm in his mentorship program. Every morning he said, write your goals down. Every night before you go to bed, write your goals down. Okay. And this ain't a plug for his show, but I love Undercover
No.
Billionaire. Okay.
Right.
And I take notes every time I watch it. That's the only show I watch. I don't watch TV. But when
Yeah.
he said he was on there, I was like, oh, okay, let me get a pen. I'm like,
Yeah.
where's my
And
pen? Because you
but
dropping,
that's
and
important.
his show is amazing. He's
That
dropping nuggets on that show left and right. So
yeah.
make sure you write your goals down and make sure you have a target. You can write your goal down, say, okay, I want to make $2 million this year. Cool. How are you gonna get there?
Right. What are
You
you
have to have
changing?
targets. Yeah, you have
Right.
to have targets in place every single day to say, okay, if I hit my target on Monday, if I hit my target Tuesday, Wednesday, okay, March is here. Yes, I was always on target. So you're gonna hit that goal. But if we
Yeah.
just say this is my goal and
Yeah.
we don't know how to work towards it, then it may not happen, right? And so I definitely believe in writing your goals down. Have a vision board. Every year I do a vision board. I got dry erase boards and everything. I'm erasing every day.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
Updating my numbers because it's important and numbers don't lie,
Right.
right? Men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. So if you're writing them down and you're tracking, make sure you're
Uh-huh.
tracking your goals, and make sure you have a tracking system that you can use. Some tracking systems don't work for everybody, and so make sure you're tracking how you can, um, and just hit your goals. Hit your
Yeah.
goals. Don't let 2020 or this pandemic be an excuse because it's not.
Yeah, and I think an important thing is celebrate your wins, right?
Yes.
No matter if they're small or big or if you almost made it, celebrate it. We don't do that often. We're like, okay, we did it, we're moving on to the next thing. And
Right.
I am definitely a victim of it, right? I'm like, I ain't go as hard as I was supposed to go today. And I'm like, but I look at my book of everything I did. I'm like, girl, you crushed today. What are you talking about?
Right.
People be like, I'm done. I'm going home. I got it. I'm like, I'm still going. I'm like, nah, I still got this on my list. But we have to celebrate our wins. We
Got
have
to.
to, because if
Yeah.
not, we feel like we are less than human. I talked to a girl yesterday just in Walmart, and she's like, man, I
Mm-hmm.
feel like, people take me for granted. Or I feel like, I said, well,
Oh
where's
wow.
your self-worth? Right? Don't allow people to tell you who you are, number one.
Mm-hmm.
And number two, show them who you are by what you do and what you say. And we got to speak positive affirmations,
Got
right?
to.
And
Yes.
look, I'm about restoring credit and restoring people, because if you broken, your life is going to leave behind who you are. And that's
Right.
important. We got to fix us too, right? Because
Right.
we're going to have bad habits. We're going to continue
Mm-hmm.
our bad habits, right? So instead of being broken, as you go through this process, fix yourself and fix your credit. It goes together.
It goes exactly. It goes together. It definitely goes together. And I was on a call last night, a quick Zoom call, and we were just talking about leadership. And all the leaders on the call were just giving some nuggets. And my thing was, if you can't lead yourself, who else are you going to lead? Who
Right.
else can you help? And so that's the first thing. I read John Maxwell books, love John Maxwell. And that's what he says in one of his books I'm reading currently, The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, right?
Right.
You have to, hey, Rory, you have to lead yourself. I was going to say control yourself, but you have to do that too.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a
Right.
part of it.
Have some
So
control.
yeah, you have to make sure, you're waking up on time. right?
Right.
Whether you have a 9 to 5 or not. And if you
Wait a
don't have a
minute.
9 to 5,
Hold on. You about to go in. You about to go in. Hold on. I need an alarm.
you
Woo!
know, hold on, where's
Hold on.
my
Game
key?
ready. That right. Woo! Listen,
Look,
you got to wake up earlier than nine
listen,
o'clock.
you have
You gotta
to
wake earlier than 8 o'clock. Get your butt up. Do your
get up,
routines. Do
get
your
up.
self-care. Look, I drink
That's
tea in
right.
the morning. I sit there and woosah. I do my yoga poses. That's my time to pour into myself before I give myself to anybody. I light my
Exactly,
sage.
exactly.
Listen,
Because
woo,
yeah,
that's
and if you
important.
don't, you're not gonna. If you don't, you'll see it or you'll feel it.
Right.
Take that one day and miss your whole morning routine, and you're gonna be like, "Oh, what just happened?"
You
Right?
off. You
You're
all
gonna
off.
notice it. You're gonna
Right.
notice, right? You're gonna notice it, and so stick to a routine. Right? Write it down. Whatever that looks like for you, everybody's different, but right, get into a routine. When you look at the Forbes list, when you look at the millionaires and billionaires, what's one thing that you see with all of them? They have a
Right.
routine. They
Right.
have a routine, and that comes with
Right.
self-discipline, right? It comes with controlling yourself. So, like I
Yeah.
said, whether you have a 9 to 5 or you work for yourself, guess what? When you work for yourself, it's not
It's
easier, it's
harder.
harder.
Right.
Because ain't
It's
nobody
harder.
telling you, oh, you got to be here at 9.
Right. Do this,
No,
do
you can
that.
stay
You
in the
get paid
bed
every two
all
weeks.
day.
Right.
Right. You
Right.
if you don't wake yourself up and say, hey, come on, you got a schedule. You need to be up at 6. You need to go ahead and drink your water. You need to walk the dog. Okay. You need to brush your teeth. You need to
Right.
make your smoothie. You need to do your 50 contacts. Because that's my list. Right.
Right.
Every morning, that's what I do. And
Right.
so if you follow that, it's the little things. Just be consistent. Be
Yeah.
consistent. Be consistent. Have that routine. Follow that routine. And before you know it, you're gonna look back and go, "Oh wow, those things that I did every single morning, they added up. Now
Right.
I'm here." You know what I'm saying? So it's so important
It
to just
is.
be consistent. Write your goals down. I don't even know how we got here, but write your
No,
goals
because
down.
it's a part.
Be,
It's a part of it.
it's
Look,
yeah.
it's a part.
Be consistent and lead
And
yourself.
see what people don't know is once you start a routine, like writing down your goals, now you're paying attention to your diet. Write down
Yes.
what you eat every day. Now you're paying attention to, yo, did I spend? Now you learning how to budget. See, when you set
Right.
yourself up in all the
Yeah.
areas, all you do is transition. You learn a system and apply it across your whole entire life. That's
Whole
the
life.
part why that's how we got on here, sis. It's because when people
Right.
understand a system,
Yes.
everything is systematic. It's like learn a
Everything.
system that works for you now. Don't, and what we try to do is then we try to be different. We like, oh man, I'm gonna do something different because this person over here doing it. No, stick to your
Mhm.
system
Stick to
that
yours.
works.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
Yep.
that's real. And I think when people
Yep.
understand your self-worth, and then I know I'm gonna let y'all go because I know Miss Wright now we got things going on,
Look, because
but
we could be here all day
we could
and
be
go
here
back
all
and
day, but
forth. You hear me?
we gonna give them something else. We're gonna go live again, give y'all something else.
Yes.
But what I do want to say is everybody who listens to me and everybody who always reach out to me, you have to know number one, you're worth it, right?
Yes.
You got to know you're loved and you're not alone. Man, I'm gonna tell anybody, look, I've been homeless. I've had rocky ass credit. Like when I say rocky, I'm down to the fours, right? I was
Right.
diagnosed with breast cancer twice.
Wow.
Literally, when you diagnose, you ain't worrying about your credit and paying. You worry about
Right.
living, right? I'm like, swipe the card. I don't care. I may not be here.
Right. You
You
like, here,
living?
just
Yeah, like let's go on the
yeah.
vacation. That's
Yeah.
a real conversation. But then when things
Yeah.
get back right, you're like, yo, what am I gonna do? And I did. I felt lost. I had lost my job. I've been there for
Mhm.
20 something years. And I'm like, I was shook. I was like, yo, what am I gonna do? But at the moment when I started believing in myself, the moment where I said, yo, you're worth it. You beat cancer. Girl, come
Yes.
on, get yourself together and let's go. So I think if everybody, if you put yourself in a situation where you are not your circumstances,
You're
right? We've
not.
all been through it. It's just a different walk of life. Now we applaud you. Get over it and let's get this credit right.
Let's get it right.
Let's
Get
get it
over it.
right
Get over yourself. Okay.
because you're the
Because we all, like you
problem.
said, we all go through something or
Man, come
something,
on. Some
multiple
things,
things. Every
multiple.
day you go through something,
Come
but am I
on.
going to, you just got to own it. You got to own
You're not
it.
gonna
You
be
got to say,
defeated.
okay, What am I going to do next? How am I going to get through this? And if you don't know, pray about it. He knows. Okay.
Hello.
I might not
Hello.
know, but he know. He made me pray about it, and you keep it moving. If you ain't gonna pray about
Right.
it, then go ahead and worry about it. If you're gonna pray, don't worry. That's
Yeah.
it. And
And we got
so,
resources. You are the
yeah, you have
resource.
help. You have help out
Right.
here. You have
Come
help out here.
on.
You're not by
Right.
yourself. You're not by
You're
yourself.
not.
And we have to come out of that mentality, just like you said. Don't think you're by yourself. And don't think you don't have anybody to ask questions to. Um, don't feel like, oh, nobody will help me. No, but you have
Right.
to ask. We're not gonna know you need help unless you say, hey, I need help. Right?
Yeah.
So don't be prideful. Like put your pride to the side in 2021. If
Right.
you need help, you have to get somewhere. Go to somebody who's where you are, or somebody who can help you, or somebody who can point you in the right direction. And that's
Right.
what we're here to do.
Well, everybody knows how I always end this. Ms. Wright, is there anything else you want to say before I drop my last line?
Well, I'm gonna go back to what you said. Believe in yourself. Okay? Believe in yourself. Know that you're worth it. Know that you're worth it. Know
Right.
that you're worth it. Know that you're enough. Because once you realize that, guess what? Nothing's gonna stop you. Nothing's gonna stop
Yeah.
you. You have Cathy, you have myself. We're here to help you. Okay. And like you said, you can reach me on Facebook, inbox me, send me a friend request. I'm gonna have to delete some people to add you, but that's okay. All right.
Right. Right.
But
They had you long enough.
yeah, yeah. So inbox me and I'll get you to where you need to be. And if I don't have the answers, somebody else has the answers and I can push you in that direction. But we're here to help you.
Yes. I mean, we really appreciate you. Of course, it's not going to be her last, guys, on the live. I know a lot of you have tuned in, and I know a lot of people will be watching because they're bugging me half to death about credit. But I always end all my lives by saying, just know that you're the best and you're better than the rest and nothing less because you were made by God. And just know that um, I am going to tag Miss Wright on this so you guys can get her information. But Miss Wright, say your information one more time for those who are just joining in at the end. Spell your name so they can get it right and they can find you.
Most definitely. So my name is Riika Wright. It's spelled RII. So two I's, one K. Okay, two I's, one K. RIIKA. Last name Wright, WRIGHT. So just type Riika Wright into Facebook, RIIKA, WRIGHT, and you will find me. Inbox me. You can find me on Instagram as well at I am Riika Wright.
All right. Peace, love, and blessings. Thank you, honey, for coming. We love you guys.
Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much.